Rise! The court of Olympus is now in session. I, Zeus, the god of the skies, will be the one proceeding over the trial today. May I ask if the prosecutor and the defense is ready? May the prosecutor give his opening statement.
Good morning. My name is Radamanthus, and I'm the prosecutor in this case. It is my pleasure to represent the people of Olympus. On 18th century BCE, our beloved messenger, Hermes, on behalf of our defendant, Queen Pasiphae, requested my client, Lady Circe, to come to the great kingdom of Crete in order to help her deliver the now notorious half-man, half-bull abomination, which is the Minotaur. Queen Pasiphae ordered the Cretan sailors to steer the ship, which was carrying the victim, Lady Circe, through the treacherous straits in which the bloodthirsty six-headed gray-scaled monster, Scylla, dwelled. At the conclusion of this case, we will ask for verdict of guilty. Gods and immortals of the jury, this case is about a nymph whose saddest thoughts got the better of her and attempted to murder her own sister out of her own egotism, thinking that, since she is the favorite child of Helios and the queen of Crete, she can take advantage of the vulnerable state my client is in from being exiled. Good morning. My name is Judge Achis, and it is my pleasure to represent Lady Pasiphae, the Queen of Crete, on this very important case. The defendant stands here falsely accused of attempted murder, a very serious crime. At the conclusion of the case, we will ask for a verdict of not guilty. Gods and immortals of the jury, the prosecution will call 3 witnesses to the stand. We will call defendant Pasiphae's husband, King Minos, who is the closest person to the defendant. We also will call upon the Cretan sailor who works under the defendant, Daedalus, who sailed my client Lady Circe to Crete and avoided certain death thanks to the help of my client. Lastly, we will call upon Atys, Pasiphae's own brother. King Minos, your majesty, please walk to the stand. King Minos, has your wife ever been abusive or has taken advantage of you?
Yes, Your Honor. My wife is a Pharmakie, a wicked witch, an enemy of the gods. She has threatened me with her witchcraft. She is an evil woman who breeds monsters and brews poison. She does not behave like a queen at all. She chose to mate with the sacred cow instead of me, for God's sake.
Next, we will call craftsman Daedalus to the stand. Sir Daedalus, has your queen and master Pasiphae ever treated you unfairly or treated you as you have seen with King Minos?
I'm afraid so, Your Honor. Ever since I got pulled into my queen's affair with the sacred cow, it has caused me to be imprisoned as her slave and have me worked to death, as she sent me to the monster, which is Scylla. All the men I have lost because of this god-forsaken creature of hell.
Sir Daedalus, are you telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Do you have anything to add?
I have been hiding it for the longest time now, in fear that my queen will tell all of Olympus and have me tortured for eternity. I am the one who built the wooden cow suit that allowed my queen Pasiphae to engage sexually with the cow and birth the fearsome Minotaur. What have I done? The many lives I've ruined.
Calm down, mortal. Fear not, you are protected by the court. Now for our last witness, Attis, to be called to the stand. Sir Attis, how was your relationship with your sister, the defendant, and the victim Circe throughout your childhood?
Oh, same old Sister Phasiphae. She got into trouble again, didn't she? I was always my father's favorite. I got to rule over the great Colchis Empire. Still bullying poor Sister Circe, I see. Ha! The two sisters still getting in trouble for their poisonous flowers and their sewing clothes. My brother and sister Phasiphae has been bullying poor little Circe ever since the day they were born. Unlike them, I give her mercy, as I saw the worth in her as she doesn't talk back like the other gods. Fellow Olympians and deities, you can clearly use your common sense to conclude that the defendant Phasiphae is guilty of her crime of attempted murder, considering that all the witnesses brought today have testified that Queen Phasiphae has harmed or threatened to put them in danger, and there is no reason on Midgard which would deliver her from her crimes. She would not have put my powerless client in danger if she had just called for her powerful brother, King Perseus.
Objection, Your Honor. If there are indeed multiple sides to the story, then truth should not only be told from one perspective. Jury, no one is born a monster, and that is a fact. My client, the defendant, Queen Phasiphae, is not the evil and heartless monster Judge Rhadamanthus and the witnesses claim to be. Queen Phasiphae is the real victim. Allow me to explain. Although Circe's and Phasiphae's childhood is widely different, with the former being constantly ignored and the latter being at the center of attention, they are both nymphs, and their destiny is to be married off to minor gods or semi-gods to solidify alliances. When Helios, their father, finds out that they are pharmaci with magical powers, Phasiphae and Circe are demonized and feared for what they can do, while Circe is exiled to Aiaia because no one wants to marry her, and she also used her powers actively. Phasiphae is sent to the rich kingdom of Crete to marry King Minos, thus following her birth's destiny of becoming a wife and of being controlled and tamed by the patriarchal authority. Allow me to quote witness King Minos. He said that Phasiphae chose to mate with the cow instead of him. Minos does not want a queen. He only wants a whimpering jelly he keeps in a jar and breathes to death. If Queen Phasiphae didn't make poisons and monsters, King Minos would have put my client in chains a long time ago.
Your Honor,
I am not finished. Let me answer the question posed by Judge Rhadamanthus. Why not send a more powerful god like Phasiphae's brother, King Perseus, to deliver the Minotaur? It would seem like an obvious decision. But fellow jury, let me ask you this. Should she have sent for some god who could not wait to scorn her and make her beg for crumbs? Or some naive nymph who closes their eyes to everything they do not understand and does not know how to defend herself? Both sisters are feared and oppressed by everyone who got their hands on them, because their abilities as witches make them extremely powerful. Fellow jury, today we will uncover the truth when there are two sides to a story. The prosecutor gets to frame my client as pure evil, but it is the victim, Circe's naivety, that blinded her from the harsh reality, the alleged monster of the story. Her sister is faced with. Your Honor, Phasiphae is guilty and should be punished for attempted murder. Nothing can change that. That is for the jury to decide. Fellow jury, thank you for attending our trial today. May we have a short break to discuss the results. Court dismissed.
This is the analysis of how my text answers the essential question. In the fantasy and fiction novel by American writer Madeline Miller, set during the Greek heroic age, it focuses on a minor character in Greek mythology, which is Circe. Circe has a very harsh upbringing, as she is often bullied by her siblings and ignored by her parents, as she is not beautiful enough as a nymph. My project focuses on the two conflicting sides of a story told from Phasiphae, Circe's evil sister, and Circe. My answer to the thesis is that the book suggests that when there are multiple sides to a story, the narrator gets to frame the villain as pure evil even though they go through similar situations. And the truth is that the protagonist's naivety blinded her from the harsh reality the villain is facing. Throughout the book, Circe views her sister Phasiphae in a very negative way, since she is her bully, and tells the reader all the awful things about Phasiphae. After Circe's confrontation with Phasiphae, it is revealed that the truth is that Phasiphae is just a broken hero. The reason she is this toxic towards everyone is because of her unyielding resistance against society's oppression and discrimination. Because of Circe's black and white view towards society, she failed to realize her sister's battle with the same oppression she is facing. This is my explanation to my creative project. To show the different sides to a story and my thesis of the broken hero, I put the two opposing characters, Circe and Phasiphae, on trial. Phasiphae being accused of attempting to murder Circe, and the other awful comments made by the witnesses who are the characters from the book, sets up the stage that Phasiphae is an evil monster who has no sense of humanity left in her. At the end of the trial, Phasiphae's defense lawyer reveals that Phasiphae is not the devil, but it is the oppression and suffering she faced which shaped her to be the way she is.